Thank you for staying with us to discuss the offshoot of the end-bad governance protest across Nigeria. I'm joined now by lawyer and public affairs analyst Olayinka Ola-Daniels. Olayinka, thank you for giving us your time. We appreciate it. I'm going to start with the handling of the police. On the one hand, the police have been caught on camera failing in their responsibility of protecting civilians and journalists in the course of this protest. What do you make of the responses of the police authority to these allegations?
Well, foremost, thank you for having me. Over years, several years, when we come in phase with such brutality, well, maybe I should use that word from the security agencies. By the time they come out, they of course they never accept that they've erred or goofed in their way of handling things. They always look for reasons, excuses, and they will give you 1,001 reasons why some things were done the way they were done. In fact, they will call innocent people rioters, and it's not today. We've seen this over years. So,
is there a scenario where the police will accept?
Authority,
sorry to interject. I just wanted to know, from your experience, has there been a scenario where the police accept responsibility for failing in their responsibilities and apologized to citizens and aggrieved journalists who are usually in the forefront?
It's very rare. You hardly see that happen. It's very, very rare for them to hold on to their fault and apologize to the either to the innocent people or to the journalist. To them, you see, it's still part of the reforms that we talk about. You see, our people don't still understand, particularly, don't forget that in this part of the world, we are more into the individual, no institution whatsoever. And, well, some people will even come to say they swore oath to the Constitution of the Nigeria and to uphold the Constitution. But in practice, what we see over years, people are answerable to some individuals. So those individuals, whatever they tell them to do is what they do. And that is what you can see from the police, from some of the security agencies, is because whatever Mr. A is telling them as against what they sworn an oath to uphold. So you can't, until we get to a system where we have an institution in place where nobody is afraid of anybody, where even when authority is saying this, then what you consider, you weigh it, whatever the authority, people in authority, whatever they are saying, is it in line with the provision of the Constitution? That is the manual of everyone that is guiding us. But in most cases, we don't see this happen because they answer to Mr. A or Mr. B. So whatever they tell them to do is what they do. We run a system where police does not even obey the court order.
It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I want to pick your brains on from your legal expertise to talk to us about the treasonable allegation against those who were seen on camera flying the Russian flag and asking for foreign intervention in the situation in Nigeria, particularly the cost of living crisis. Is it treasonable to do that? Most people say yes. But what are the legal interpretation for people who engage in acts like this?
Thank you. I'll break it into two. And the first part, I will say, when it comes to protests, all sort happens, particularly when the people that are carrying out these protests are not lettered, when they don't really know what they are doing. You know, a lot of people, they just protest. Oh, yes, we are hungry. Yeah, crowd. Then they follow crowd and they carry out the deeds of, let me perhaps in quote, the leaders or people instigating such movement. So they follow whatever they tell them to do. But in that case, for instance, if you find someone carrying flag. They just distributed flag and their flag. They don't even know whether the flag is Russian flag or, any flag. They just give them some flag. Okay, be waving it. Oh, be protesting. So
don't forget your thoughts. Does that? Don't forget your thoughts, please. I just want to interject and ask: does that give credence to allegations that the protest, especially up north, was hijacked for other political reasons? When you say that young people who are gullible are given these flags to just take on the street.
Yeah. Before I answer this, let me quickly say this. Before this protest, some of us were saying no to it because we know. We have seen this coming. We have foreseen that this will happen. Why? Because there are no strategy in place. We have led protests before, where there was no vandalism, where everything was peaceful, and we achieved our.
Olayinka, I'm sorry to interject, but we are time constrained. So if you could just maybe focus on.
Let me quickly go to that. Let me quickly go to that. Now, considering those people, once you see anywhere where the sovereignty of the state is being questioned, or where some people are asking for another country to topple a government, because if you heard what they were saying, some of them were even shouting coup and all that. And if you link, maybe they're looking at what has happened in some other African countries, they think, maybe Russia was the sponsor of those countries. So now they have the Russian flag and they're asking for coup. That is treasonable offense, treasonable felony. There is no two way about it.
Spell it out. What is the punishment for treason?
For the fact that for this to be happening, it means that there are some people are behind this.
All right. What's the penalty? I'm asking you because of
to fish out the people that are behind this this menace.
All right. Quickly, Olayinka, I still have questions for you. For clarity,
or otherwise.
For clarity, please. What is the punishment for treason?
Is jail terms, and is jail terms not under 14 years, can be life imprisonment.
All right. The next question is, the NIS has come up to say that the alleged sponsors of the protests are being put on watch list. Their bank accounts have been frozen, and they allege that some of them are not in the country. Is it curious to you that no names were mentioned in this case? And how valid is the freezing of accounts based on allegations?
Those are the issues we have with our system. I think you do your investigation first before you just, freezing people's account, before taking people to court when you don't even have substantive evidence against these people. I think they need to do more, and it's too early for them to say, okay, there are freezes of people's account, so that it doesn't look as if you are also fighting back. Or some people are fighting and you have enemy that you want to also, hack their neck. I think it's too early. They should do their investigation. They should find out the people, the perpetrators, the people behind this whole thing. And, once you do that, have enough concrete evidence against them. Then bring them. When you do that and you release the list, not that you are telling us that you are freezing people's account. We don't even have a face to these people, and we have done that severally, and we are still doing it. You remember the Saudi Arabia list? We don't have any list today. Up to today, Nigeria has not released any list to us. Now, this will come again, and we will go the same route. They will talk about people freezing people's account. We don't even have a face to them. We don't know them. So who do we face? Who do we harass? Who do we call to book?
All right, before I let you go, I just want your thoughts in 30 seconds, if you can, on the renewal of the preemptive court order by the Lagos State Chief Judge. I want you to talk to us about the necessity for it, considering on major counts that the protests seem to be losing steam. Was that continuing order necessary?
Yeah, don't forget that that order gotten is a temporary order, so it is not in perpetuality. So and it has a time frame, so it will lapse. So they had to go and renew and get extension of the order, so that you can see, like you said, is really coming down in Lagos. By the time that order comes and you see them fading out, and before you know it, it's another tactic that the Lagos State is using, probably is working for them, and maybe or not, but at least the AG has done the right thing by approaching the court and seeking extension of this interim order. to make sure that they restrict these protesters to those places. And I think it's the best way, rather than some people, I mean, infiltrating the protesters with hoodlums and destroying things here and there. I think it's a good cause for us.
Thank you very much for your submissions and the gift of your time.
Thank you for having me.